Everybody said driving for dollars was dead, but what if the people saying that are the same ones who stopped doing it? We are living in a moment where every real estate strategy is being stress tested by high interest rates, thin margins, and a market that has humbled even the most seasoned investors. Let's back up and talk about what driving for dollars actually is. Because if you think it's just aimlessly cruising neighborhoods hoping for a miracle, you've already missed the point. It is a systematic, boots-on-the-ground method of identifying distressed properties before they ever hit the MLS, and that information asymmetry is literally the entire business model. Back in 2020 and 2021, wholesalers and flippers were practically tripping over deals because motivated sellers were everywhere and competition felt manageable. Fast forward to 2026, and the narrative has shifted hard. People are paying top dollar. Inventory is scarce. And everyone online is telling you that the only real edge left is data and algorithms. Here's the irony though. While everyone rushed to Deal Machine, PropStream, and AI-driven skip tracing, they all started pulling from the same databases. You've got thousands of investors mailing the same list of pre-foreclosures in the same zip codes, and suddenly your edge is everyone else's edge too. Driving for dollars works precisely because it finds what the data cannot. The house with overgrown grass, boarded windows, and a tarp on the roof that hasn't been photographed or flagged in any system yet. That is called a pre-deal. And that gap between physical reality and digital record is where fortunes have always been made in this business. Psychologically, most investors abandon driving for dollars because it feels slow, unglamorous, and deeply unsexy compared to clicking through a software dashboard in your pajamas. But discipline has never cared about aesthetics, and the investors quietly stacking deals in 2026 are the ones willing to do what feels boring. History actually backs this up during the post-2008 crash. The investors who drove neighborhoods and knocked on doors found deals that institutional buyers completely missed because institutions don't knock on doors. Every cycle has its version of that strategy is dead. And every cycle has a contrarian who gets rich, ignoring that narrative. Now, let's address the misconception that driving for dollars is just for beginners or small-time operators with nothing better to do. Some of the most sophisticated acquisition teams in the country still build driving for dollars into their pipeline because it remains one of the lowest cost per lead strategies available when executed with discipline. The practical lesson here is that you should never build your entire acquisition strategy on one channel, not direct mail, not cold calling, and not driving for dollars alone. But pulling driving for dollars out of your stack entirely because it sounds old-fashioned is like throwing away a fishing rod because someone invented sonar. Use apps like Deal Machine or Driving for Dollars by PropStream to log properties in real time so you're not just driving blind with a notebook and a prayer. The goal is to build a list of 50 to 100 properties per territory. Follow up consistently over 3 to 6 months and let compounding contact frequency do the heavy lifting. Moderate your risk by not over-mailing or over-texting a cold list you haven't verified. Bad data wastes money faster than bad strategy. Size your campaign to what you can follow up on because a list of 500 properties you never contact is worth exactly $0. The deeper philosophical truth here is that no strategy dies, execution dies. Driving for dollars in 2026 is not about the drive, it's about what you do with what you find, how quickly you act, and how consistently you follow up without letting emotion or discouragement derail your system. And here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. If driving for dollars isn't working for you, it's almost certainly a follow-up problem, not a market problem. The deal was always in the 5th or 6th touch. And most people quit after the 2nd because they convinced themselves the market was the obstacle. Be comfortable with the grind. Be comfortable with the silence between the send and the response. And be deeply comfortable with the fact that the investors who win in any market are the ones who never confused activity with productivity. Process, patience, and position size will always outlast conviction and timing. Whether you're looking to get into real estate investing, need contracting work done on a property, or want to connect with lenders who understand your vision, check out our links in the description below and let us help you take the next step.